It's been a while. What's up, guys? It's Ryan, and this is not what I expected to happen when I started this channel, but I felt like I kind of owed all of you an explanation as to where I've been over the past, I think, 3 months. It's been since I last uploaded a video. It might be a little longer. I'm not too sure, to be perfectly honest with you, but you all subscribed to me with the understanding that I would be uploading OTP regularly, and that was my intention as well. And then, as I'm sure you probably saw, there were no more videos from me for a very long time. We were pretty consistent there, doing it every other day, pretty much, and then it snapped a finger. It just stopped. So I felt that you guys probably earned an explanation as to why I just suddenly stopped uploading without any type of, hey, I'm not going to be doing this for a while, or hey, just want to check in. I should have done this a lot sooner. But with that said, let's get into everything. I don't know if this is going to be kind of like a life update kind of video. I've done those before. But regardless, we're just going to get through this, and however it goes, we'll see. So, as I said, I have not uploaded in a while, as it's pretty clear. I think actually maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, I saw a couple comments like, it's a shame that he's done. I was enjoying this. And I replied, nope, I'm not done. Things are going to be getting back to normal here very soon. And they didn't. So the reason that I kind of just dropped off the face of the earth, for lack of a better term, I started dealing with a lot of personal issues, mainly anxiety, during the course of this year. And it really picked up around the time I stopped making videos. It started a little before then, but I kind of had it under, I kind of had it in check. I was able to control things for the most part, but it got to a point where it was pretty bad. I ended up having to go to a doctor actually one day because I thought that I was having a very serious health problem, only to find out that it was, in fact, just my anxiety going haywire. But it made me feel ways that I've never really felt before, and there's a lot of things that have contributed to it. I think that losing my job, basically, I don't know if I said that in a previous video, but I did basically lose my job. If you guys don't remember, I got a job working for a minor league baseball team, and of course, the season got put on hold, and eventually it was canceled, which I kind of expected by that point, by the time it was canceled. But still, that was not a very fun time for me. I kind of started questioning a lot of things about what the point of everything I was doing was. I kind of started worrying about the path that I had chosen for my career. I kind of wondered how I could possibly get back on track. And, in hindsight, I look back at these things that I thought to myself, and I actually kept a journal and I wrote about my thoughts. I look back and clearly I just wasn't in the right state of mind. I was really overreacting, but in the moment, you start to go to these dark existential places, and it was not a good feeling. I can tell you that. But I had trouble sleeping. There were nights where I tried to go to sleep at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't get to sleep until 9:30 in the morning. So it would take me about 8 hours just to get to sleep, just because my mind was racing, my heart was pounding. I could not shut down. I could not calm down. I could not get to just a state of, calmness for a lot of reasons. Lost my appetite. I had trouble eating for a little bit. I was not as hungry. I was not eating as much as I should be eating throughout the day, and I'm sure that contributed to a lot of things as well. I just wasn't myself. I'm normally a pretty optimistic person, and if my friends will say this, one of my phrases is, "I've never had a bad day in my life." And my mom actually got me this thing, and I know it's backwards, but it says "no bad days." I'm a pretty optimistic person. At least I try to be. I think I try to live my life that way. I think it's best for me. But for whatever reason, over the last few months, it's just been very hard. I said my job was a part of it. I think just the entire political landscape and climate, including the guy who's in office. I'm not going to get into that. I don't like him. If you do, so be it. but I think that really weighed on me a bit as well. Just a lot of things really caused me to get into this state of mind that I've never been in before. And unfortunately, one of the side effects of this was that I kind of lost my creative passion for the first time in a very long time. There were a lot of projects that I started working on, just like little bits and pieces, and then I would just lose motivation. Or I'd say, "Ah, this sucks. Why am I doing this?" Just it was not a good time for me personally. And it's something I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it was 3 months and now it's all gone. It's not gone. It's still something I'm working on daily, pretty much. It comes and it goes. I'll have a couple weeks where everything will be good. I'm in a good mood. I'm vibing. Everything's great. And then, I'll have a few days, maybe a week stretch where everything just kind of comes tumbling back down. And I kind of have to rebuild that structure that I had built before. But I have been working on myself in all facets of my life to try and get over what I think is a temporary roadblock. I really do think that if this pandemic didn't happen, that was another cause of stress for me in terms of my anxiety. If this pandemic didn't happen, if a lot of things didn't happen, I'd like to think that I'd still be in a good mental state, because this is the first time, I don't know if I mentioned this, is the first time that I've really felt the way that I've been feeling over the last few months. I mean, I've been nervous, obviously, from time to time. I'm pretty introverted, so, I felt nervous throughout the course of my life through different events, but it was never like it was for the past few months. I'd say it started sometime in April. It was never as bad as it was. So I'd like to think that it's temporary. I'd like to think that, once things can maybe kind of start getting back to normal, I don't know when that is. That's another thing that's always on my mind, is when am I finally going to start feeling like I used to? When is the world going to start getting better? I don't know. That's another big, huge issue. But I'd like to think that as time progresses, I'll get back to that state that I was in before for the first 22 years of my life. I don't know why suddenly at 23, everything just started going haywire, but it did. But it's part of life. I'm just trying to do the best that I can personally to get through it, and I'm very lucky to have a great support system, which I know not everybody has. I have my parents, who have been extremely gracious throughout this entire thing. They're always there if I need to talk, always there to talk me off of the proverbial ledge. They're always there just to help me get through and process what I'm feeling. I have friends, too, that I've talked to a few of them about this. Some of them don't know about it, but I know if I ever needed to talk, they would be there, too, which truly means a lot. But I want to kind of get back to this YouTube thing because I don't want it to seem like me not uploading was because I didn't like where the series was going. I was really into it. I'd say it was on track to be probably my favorite OTP series that I'd done, because I was having a lot of fun with it. It was great interacting with everyone that watched, and I said that every video. It's always great seeing the comments flow in. And even if I didn't reply to everyone, I still took the time to read each one. And it was really cool. It always blows my mind that people from all over the country, all over the world, take the time to watch something that I make. Just me talking over a game where there's not really a lot of actual gameplay, and taking the time to watch the entire thing and leave a comment. It was always crazy. But having said that, one of my reflection periods, I kind of realized that the constant contact with all of the people that watch and comment and give feedback, it was weighing on me a bit, and not in a bad way. I don't want it to seem like that, but I just kind of got to a point where I see all these comments and all these people seem to like what I'm doing. And I kind of got a little nervous, kind of got to a point where I'd be making a video. I'm like, is this very good? I don't know if they're going to like this. I'm really worried. I'm not going to do it. That kind of ties hand in hand with those tutorials. You guys remember those? Those tutorials that I said I was going to do. It was part of the reason why I never did them. I tried to do different formats. I had everything kind of all planned out. I recorded multiple times. I did multiple takes, and every time I would bring it into Adobe Premiere and start to edit it, I was like, if I'm allowed to be candid, I'm like, this is shit. They're not going to like this. And is that true? Probably not. Yeah, I'm sure in hindsight that everything was fine. I've since deleted everything off of my computer. So I guess we'll never know. The game's 4 months old, so I don't think there's much of a need for those tutorials at this point. But that kind of played into why I kept saying, "Oh, these tutorials are coming. Just let me know what you want to see." And then, lo and behold, they never showed up on my channel. But I was really enjoying the series, and so I want you guys to just know from the bottom of my heart, I was enjoying it. As I said, the most out of any OTP series that I've done. And we've had a lot of fun. We've had fun with the Angels. We've had fun with the Marlins. We've had fun with this franchise over the past, I'd say, 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. And this one I thought was on track to be probably my best one yet until everything just came screeching to a halt. But before I go into maybe talking about the future of the channel, I did want to just give maybe a little life update. I'm trying my best to feel good. I'm trying to, as I said, get over this temporary roadblock that I found in front of me. So just some things about me. I got a new camera, which for some of you, this might be the first time you've actually seen my face. It depends on how long you've been a subscriber. I've done a couple vlogs in the past, but this might be, for a lot of you, the first time actually seeing me talk in person, which I'm sure is a little weird. But yeah, I got this new camera. That's what I'm recording this on. It's a Canon M50. I saw it for sale on B&H, and I knew that as a creative person, I wanted to have the ability to, have my own camera, go out and just be able to drive somewhere, shoot some cool stuff, and be able to edit it and maybe add it to my reel. So I got it for a good deal, and now, I've used it a little bit. I'm pretty excited with the possibilities, and I'm excited to keep on shooting stuff with it, and then hopefully improving my skills behind the camera and in Adobe Premiere, Adobe After Effects, all of those programs. I also got this new microphone. I would hope that you can hear the difference a little bit. I went from a 4, maybe 5-year-old Blue Snowball to now this Rode Pod mic, which is definitely very sturdy. It's not a USB mic, XLR, so I had to buy an audio interface, which is over here. That's what I'm looking at. I can't really show it to you, but because it's kind of plugged all in. But I'm very happy with these two purchases that I've made. I think it'll help me a lot create better content, not just for YouTube, but hopefully in my professional life as well. I've been reading more. I've actually been reading this huge book, this Steve Jobs biography by Walter Isaacson, and you can see it's a long read, right? I think it's about 600 pages or so, and I am currently on chapter 21, page 267. So I've been reading this, and it's been really interesting. I definitely recommend it. I think I'm not gonna go must read because I'm sure some people really don't care, but so far it's been really, really interesting. I find it hard to actually put the book down. I want to keep reading, but I know at some point you have to stop. I did finish this book, which I'd also recommend. I guess I finished this a couple weeks ago. The Song Machine, Inside the Hit Factory. It's by John Seabrook. It's a pretty cool look into the music industry and how these hit songs that we hear over and over and over are made. It was a really interesting look. I was actually supposed to read it for a class in college when I was at Monmouth. Never read it. Oops. But I decided now, why not? Now would be a good time to read it. And it was really cool. So I definitely recommend that too. I'm exercising more than I probably ever have before. I'm trying to get a lot of cardio in throughout the week. I'm actually lifting weights pretty regularly, 2 to 3 times a week. I'm working out everything, my arms, my chest, my legs, because you can't skip leg day. Absolutely not. So I'm just trying to get into kind of a healthier kind of physical mindset. I've never really focused on my physical health. There have been, times when I would just 1 week say, oh, I'm going to really start caring about it. And then after that 1 week, it just, it stopped. But I'm really trying to focus on it because I'm 23 years old. I figure now would probably be a good time, especially without a job, to focus on making my physical self the best that I can be. And I've also been eating healthier in tune with the exercise. I've been eating a lot healthier. I've been getting a lot more fruits and vegetables into my diet. At least I try to every day. And that's not to say that, I'm completely healthy. I'll still have pizza. I'll still have fast food. I'll still have beer here and there, but I don't have it nearly as much as I used to. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that. This is the first time where I've really tried to focus on being, a relatively healthy human being. And I can tell, I mentioned that I had those those good weeks throughout my anxiety. I could tell that, filling myself with good food and just exercise and getting in a good mindset, it's definitely helped, my positivity levels for sure. then I'd say ultimately I'm just trying my best to feel good, whatever that entails, whatever that means. I'm just trying to do whatever I can. And as I said, there's been good days, there's been bad days, but this is just a temporary roadblock, and I know that in the bottom of my heart, I will be able to get through this. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but I know eventually I will be good. So with that all said, I want to talk about the future of the channel. Ideally, I would like to get back to making content. I don't know how often I would do that. If you've been around the channel for a while, you've known that I kind of like to throw out these wild, crazy statements like, oh, I'm going to upload this day, this day, this day, or I'm going to upload this many times a week, and then it just stops like that. So I'm not going to promise anything, but I would like to get back into making content at some point soon. I think that would be fun, whether that's Out of the Park Baseball, getting back into that, or other games, maybe throwbacks. I've gotten really into playing, some older sports games from when I was a kid, like the EA Sports games from like 2005, 2007. Just a lot of older games that you bring back a lot of nostalgia for me. NFL 2K5, obviously, that's been a big one. So maybe I'll do stuff like that because I always think it's kind of fun to go back in time and see what games were like, and maybe we'll do a series on those games. I don't know, but I do have a pretty big project on the horizon that I have been working on, not tirelessly, but here and there I'm kind of chipping away at it, and it's something that kind of means a lot to me personally. So y'all might hear about that when the time is right. Hopefully we'll be able to get this thing off the ground here pretty soon. I'm hoping by the end of the month it'll be up and off the ground and it'll be started. But as I said, hopefully when the time is right, you guys will definitely hear about it, and hopefully if you guys like it, you will support it. I think that based on the demographics of who watches or who watch my videos, I think you guys would probably be interested in it, but only time will tell. And with that, it says that I've been recording for almost 20 minutes, which is crazy. It has not felt that long. It's kind of been like a stream of consciousness almost. But I just want to thank you all for the endless support as we bring this video to a close. I know I say it every single video I do, going back to 2016 when I first started doing these, maybe 2015. I really don't remember, but I know I say it a lot, but it really does mean the world to me to see all the support that you guys give me, and you'll never understand how thankful I am for it. It really does mean a lot to me. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, whatever, you can leave them in the comments below. Also, feel free to reach out to me on social media. I'd say Twitter is probably the best option. You can try Instagram, you can try Facebook, but sometimes I just don't see things that get sent to me. Instagram, if you try to DM me, it ends up in my message requests, and sometimes I don't look at those for a couple months at a time. So, and Facebook, it's the same thing. It'll go into my messenger requests that I really don't look into a whole lot. You can try that. You see if I can reply that way, because I know not everybody has Twitter. So if you don't, you can try any of those ways. All the links are in the description down below to all of my social media stuff. Try any way that you'd like. As I said, Twitter's probably the best, but try whatever way you're most comfortable with, and hopefully I can get an answer to you. And I think that is about that. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you've made it this far, even if you haven't made it this far, thank you. If you just skipped around, I completely understand. Listening to me and watching me talk for 20 minutes can't be the most entertaining thing in the world. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I will see you all soon.